Think we will begin here in a second. We're just letting a couple more people log on here and we'll get going. All right, good afternoon. We will call this meeting to order, and Braden will go ahead with the roll call first.
All right. Peggy Besh,
Present.
Julie Brew, Mike Derby, Caleb Fink, Catherine Forsch, David Grabitsky, Kurt Hackmer,
Here.
James Hagan, but Benjamin Jones,
Here.
Doug Knudst,
Here.
Marshall Michaels,
Here.
Shane Penfield,
Here.
Tim Reed, Nick Harrington for Kevin Roebling, George Seaman,
Here.
Tyler Tordson, Jeremiah Schneider, Nicole Christie for Algan Young,
Here.
Okay, we will proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. The agenda was sent out prior to the meeting. Is there any changes, or I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved, Reed.
Okay. Kurt, was that a second?
Yeah, it's a second.
Okay. Hackemer, a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed,
Aye.
same sign.
Aye.
Okay, the agenda is adopted. I was just looking on the calendar as we were starting the meeting. We have 93 days until July 4th. So we are in the closing phase of this. And all right, next item on the agenda, approval of the December 3rd minutes. And just by way of clarifying this, we're approving the December 3rd minutes again because of. Oh, right. So just so you're aware, we were one vote shy of a quorum for the last meeting. So each, some of these votes we're redoing just to make sure we're proper conduct of the public meeting. So we are submitting for approval again for the approval of the December 3rd meeting, the minutes of the December 3rd meeting. Is there a motion for the approval of those minutes?
So moved. This is Peggy.
Is there a second?
George Seaman, second.
George, second. All those in favor of adopting the minutes of December 3rd, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Okay, so the December 3rd meetings are re-adopted. Thank you, Braden. Okay, so now we're up to the approval of the February 4th minutes. Are there any questions or edits or motions of approval for that February 4th minutes?
Motion to approve, Harrington?
Okay, is there a second?
Second, Reed.
Gonna read on the second, so all those in favor of the adoption of the February 4th meeting minutes, please signify by saying aye.
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 Post same sign. Okay, the February 4th minutes are adopted. Thank you. All right, moving right along. Item 5, public comment. Is there, there's no one in the room that is going to offer public comment. Is there anybody on the line for public comment? Okay, hearing none, we will move on to this. So item 6, this is that packet that was sent out to refresh in some cases, or perhaps educate the first time is the procedures, the applicable laws, and the ways on how to conduct a public meeting. All public commissions and must affirm that they understand the intent of the public meeting laws. And so this is something that you're signing on to now. I think I will take a motion and go ahead and do that. Any questions about the SDCL 1-25-1? Okay, is there a motion to affirm that we all understand the public laws relevant to this meeting?
So moved.
Okay, I think that was Kurt. Yep.
Yep.
Is there a second?
I'll second it. It's Marshall.
Okay, General Marshall seconds it. So all those, again, show by saying aye that you affirm that.
Aye.
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 Okay. Fill our obligation there. Okay, now on the, why don't we hold on the account balance for a while until Catherine is coming. I know she's on her way. I'd like to just bring everybody up to date on the time capsule contributions, and this is a revote as well because of the quorum issue from the last meeting. So South Dakota's time capsule contributions consist of at least two things and perhaps more. We're going to have a letter from the governor, which we do have in our possession now. Governor Roden crafted and wrote a letter for the national time capsule. We also have an edition, as we discussed last time, of the America 250 poem written by Joseph Bottom. That's being crafted in such a way that it will fit inside the 6x5x2 box in the nation's time capsule. And the designer and the publisher have assured me that we should have that special edition by the 15th. We think we'll probably have it around the 10th or 11th or so we can send it off to the nation. And then we're also working with Rosebud Sioux Tribe to have letters from the tribal chairman there who gave the State of the Tribes address at the opening of the legislative session. And Nicole, do you have any further word on that? I know Secretary Young was working with Rosebud Sioux Tribe to get the letter done, but I don't know if he passed anything along to you.
Yeah, so he has not been able to get the letter, unfortunately. There was recently a tragedy that's affecting the tribe, and he suspects that's the reason why he has not been able to make contact with the chairwoman, but he is still working on it.
Okay. Yeah, we have, I mean, we can take right up until the 20th or so. We just need to be able to include that item and get it sent to DC. They need it. It needs to be there in their hands by the 30th of April. So we will wait as long as we can, I guess, until I have to send that off. And then I know Tyler Tortzen was also working with the Great Plains Tribal Association, and they had indicated that they would draft a letter. So we hope to include both of those if they're available to get those letters to us by that time frame in April. We can include them. So we will at least have the special edition poem and the letter from the governor, if not the letter from the two tribal organizations. So what the vote is then today, the vote is to spend $2,000 of our roughly $5,000 on the expenses for creating the special edition of the poem. And so I would entertain a motion to approve the expenditure of $2,000 from our funds to make this contributions to the nation's time capsule.
So moved.
Okay, we have David Grabitsky is first. Is it a move? And is there a second?
Second, Harrington.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay, the ayes have it. Thank you very much. This is going to be a great, I think 2 other states are submitting poems because the real estate in the time capsule is pretty thin, but we're able to reframe our poem to fit within that framework and get inside that box that they're allowing each state to have. So I think Massachusetts and South Carolina are submitting poems as well. So, but ours will be on a specially made paper with the handcrafted. It'll be quite something. We'll also have copies that will go in the state archives here as well. So that'll be very unique from South Dakota. Okay, the next item is the flag raising. So I attended a flag raising in Springfield. And it was the Legion ran that post 132, I believe. And Scott Costel, who's the Legion commander, is also the mayor. So he was able to get a lot of stuff done. And we did it out at Veterans Park, which has an amazing view of the river and just 3 blocks from the school. And so we had 4th, 5th, down to 2nd graders there, participated with that. Kello TV showed up and did a nice story on the whole event. And again, the flag looks great. So that story aired on Monday at 6. These are great ways to get the word out in the local community about what's going on. And we get a lot of good feedback on the flag and the logo. So in fact, just before this meeting started, Philip and Haken County is going to do one on, the date has changed as of a few hours ago. They're going to do it on the 15th of April. And Shane has agreed to go and speak and represent the commission there. So thanks, Shane, for doing that. And if there's another weather delay, I'll be in touch. But the county and the community there is very much looking forward to this. They've got a lot on tap. I think the secret sauce in all of this is getting the Legion involved and then reaching out to the local school district and getting kids involved. And then other things seem to fall into place. So that's all been great. And we are planning flag raisings in Vermilion and Yankton too, I think, but those are going to be in May. If anybody knows of any other communities that's interested in doing this, we'll be able to link them up with Maximum Promotions and Mark Nelson to see if we can arrange that 20 by 30 ceremonial flag to be there. Happy to do that.
I'll just point out the Vermilion flag raising we're doing to coincide with commencement at USD. So we'll get lots of eyes on it.
That's awesome. Yeah. How many students graduation at USD? What's the size of the graduating class? You have enough?
We'll do 2 graduations, both undergraduate and grad, and it'll probably be 1,700. Great.
Yeah, and all the families there, that'd be great. Okay. Wanted to make a comment about America's Potluck. We've talked about this before. The website is now up. This is being organized by the delegation in Utah, the commission in Utah. The website is up. I invite you to go there. And this is an opportunity for neighborhoods and community groups to click on that link on the website on the Utah's America 250 page. You scroll down about half the way, you can click on that and register your potluck. That would be happening on July 5th. You can make it public or private. You can opt to put it on the map or not, but they're really wanting to get a count about how many organizations or groups are having a potluck on July 5th. And the website is live, so that's a great opportunity to do that. I skipped the Rushmore fireworks. The lottery is also set for 8 a.m. to begin April 8th at 8 a.m. And it will go through April 12th at 9:59 Mountain Time. So the lottery opens up then. And we've been getting a fair amount of queries about that, but we direct them to recreation.gov. And that's where the lottery is on the National Park website there with the Mount Rushmore folks. Anybody on from tourism to add any other? I don't see anybody. Okay. America's State Fair. So as we've talked about before, each state will have a pavilion. There's also a pavilion for innovation, for arts and fine arts, and a lot of different events that can happen during America's State Fair on the National Mall. The dates it's quite a substantial timeline. So it'll be from 23 June to 10 July, and it will be every day from those times. We've been reaching out to find sponsors that will help us facilitate South Dakota's participation in this. And we've got a couple of ideas, and we've been talking to a few people about the potential to sponsor this. If all the members of the commission could also, if you think you know of somebody who might be willing to sponsor this, and if you need some background information, I can provide more. We've got handouts from the White House and the U.S. Department of Ag on how this is being organized, if they want the particular details about sponsoring this. But we do need to raise some funds for our folks to participate. And so we're kind of under the gun here on being able to do that. So I'll send that information out to the details about that. If you think you have somebody, I'm looking at Game Fish and Parks here. They get lots of folks to chip in for a lot of wide variety of things. So if you think you have somebody like that, please give me a call and we can push that. Also, we're working with, there's an entity in Washington, D.C. called the South Dakota State Society. This tends to be South Dakotans who now live in Washington, D.C. We're going to make a sign-up sheet for work, what I would, in my former life in the Air Force, would have called a duty roster. We can sign people up, and we'll put that online for the commission to be able to see, and for on the Teams page. We'll have to sort out how we do that, but I think the tech would make that available for the South Dakota State Society or the congressional delegation staff or other folks who happen to be in Washington, D.C. to sign up and take a shift, essentially, of working at the South Dakota Pavilion. We do want people who are familiar with South Dakota and can talk to people about South Dakota about that. So U.S. Ag is taking the lead at the federal level for this. And Peggy, I don't know if you've heard any more from U.S. Ag about this, or if Secretary Hunter Roberts has spoken to you about any further details about this.
He has not. I know Secretary Roberts had been visiting with the governor's office, but as far as I know, he has not heard anything from USDA, and I certainly have not.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions or comments on America's State Fair? Okay. The next item on the agenda I wanted to update folks on is the Liberty Tree planting, which is currently scheduled for May 22nd. And we've got the tree donated and the plaque, and that's in the works. And I think I have a bench.
Yes.
It's coming too. So that's taking shape. It'll be on the hillside, just on the north side of the CHC. Do you have any more comments? No? Okay. The next item is the Grit and Glory. This is, we are hosting the conference, the history conference. We hope you come. The web is up. We'll make some changes, but registrations have gone live for that. And we have day one is K-12 educators, June 1st. That'll be occurring. And then the June 2nd and 3rd will be for members and the general public who want to come. the theme is shaped up around America's 250th birthday and the founding principles, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and how South Dakotans have lived that out. So Christina Burke, I'm very excited about her. She's a winter count specialist that's helped co-author chapters on winter counts that the Smithsonian has published, and she's agreed to come. She'll be in South Dakota, as it turns out, doing other things, and so she'll give a presentation on the 2nd. And we have other speakers coming to talk, and then the awards banquet is on the 3rd, and Brad Berzer is the keynote speaker, and he'll be speaking on his newly published book that's just out this month on the Declaration of Independence. And then also along that theme of grit and glory, on 1 July will be the ribbon cutting and opening of the new State Museum. And the governor will be here later that afternoon. We're still finalizing the time, but late afternoon we're planning on cutting the ribbon. And the temporary exhibit will focus on that same theme of grit and glory and items to exhibit from how South Dakotans have lived out the principles. The good days and the bad days, the good times and the bad times, and everything in between. So the Hogan Gallery, or the temporary gallery as it is now, is being painted. And so those first 3 galleries will be available for the public starting on 1 July. We're looking forward to that. And then the sharing of the spirit of America. This is the reading of the Declaration of Independence. We plan on doing that in the Capitol. We were thinking about doing that in the Dome, but they started with the construction of the Dome. I was mildly surprised to walk into the Dome the other day and see all the scaffolding, and then realize, that's going to be off limits until they put the trees up in December or just after Thanksgiving. So we're coming up with other ideas, and STPB and I met yesterday to think about where else we could do that. And Senator Reed, you might be interested to know, we're kicking around the Senate chamber. Think that it's a fitting place, and so we're just going to test the how we get the equipment in there and be able to move the cameras around to show each person who's reading their prescribed portion of the Declaration, and how we arrange them in the chamber.
I think that'll be a beautiful place to do it.
Yeah, there's no shortage of beauty in that spot. The challenge will be getting the cameras around and how we swing the mic and the teleprompter and all that kind of stuff. But the STPB team is considering that, and they'll come up in the next few days to kind of walk around the space and see how they could do that. But I think it's a fitting spot, certainly, and if that doesn't work for some kind of technical reason, we might wind up on the first floor or on the staircase to the first floor in the Capitol as kind of a backup. But we know that a lot of localities are also planning that. The USS South Dakota Battleship is planning on a reading in Sioux Falls, and I've heard that Rapid City is also planning on a reading. The DAR chapter in Rapid City is planning on a reading on the 8th of July. So that's good to hear. There'll probably be more as the word gets out about what this is. Okay. Catherine, do you happen to have a current account balance of the fund?
Sure, we have 20,789 in the account. And just a note, about 17,500 of that is allocated to the K-12 educator event. So you have a little less than 3,300 to use before.
Okay. And that 15,500 or so, that's from the donation from Park West?
From the 17.5 from the sales of raffle tickets. We sold 175
Okay.
at $100 each.
Okay. Right, and so we told the ticket buyers that would go toward the K-12 support. So
Right.
And that's helping to add that first day to our conference in June. Okay. All right, so then with the 2,000 for the time capsule, then that leaves us out of the, a little over at 13.
A little less. Yeah.
Okay, and we're taking donations. So if you have somebody who wants to provide a donation to the whole event, we can look in that. But I think as you talk to people, the American State Fair, we're looking for sponsors for that. That's probably the priority right now. Well, I know it's the priority right now, so. Okay, thanks, Catherine. I think as the pace picks up here, we will continue our monthly pace. So the next meeting is scheduled for May 6th at 3 p.m. Central Time. This short and sweet here. Kind of ran through things in about 30 minutes. Does anybody have any comments for the good of the order?
Dr. Jones, if I may.
Sure.
Update from South Dakota Game Fish and Parks. We are going to be starting our Adventure 250 theme, which will align closely with this. Want to thank Dr. Jones for coming down and visiting with our education team at our education conference in Chamberlain a couple weeks ago. He was our keynote speaker. He was there to hear quite a discussion about kind of how we were going to implement this theme. So as folks are getting out in the parks this year, there's going to be a variety of opportunities for them to earn points. We're going to have a 250 club. So if they participate in so many activities across so many parks, they will get to join this club, and vice versa. We are going to have prizes in every region across the state weekly throughout the summer. So expect to see a lot of promotion kicking off here from us that Mother's Day open house weekend, and then continuing through the 4th of July, and then through the rest of the summer into that Labor Day weekend. So hope you all see and hear a lot from Game Fish and Parks in relation to both Adventure 250 and South Dakota 250.
That's fantastic. I think you're also taking ideas and donations for the time capsules too, right?
That is our next test. Yep. So that is one thing that we are going to be asking folks is if they have historic photos, artifacts, anything like that, please share them with us. Depending on what we hear from folks, if it's just maybe photos or something, that would be more for social media. But if we do bring in an old Zebco fishing rod or a fishing rod would be a little tough, but an old reel, fish hooks, lures, anything like that, camping equipment, we would absolutely take that for a time capsule submission. So hopefully we get that from folks, and we're going to push that out pretty hard via social media at that local park level. So we have a meeting next week with all our park managers, and that's going to really talk about implementation. So hope to have a bit more on that then too.
Okay, and Senator Reed, you'd be gratified to know that we do have the Senate's copy of the Declaration of Independence that all the senators signed. So we'll put that in the archives along with the House one. And so thanks for your help on the Thomas Jefferson thing and getting all of your colleagues to sign that.
Welcome. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, any other comments for the good of the order? All right, the meeting, do I have a motion to adjourn? Second.
Second, Harrington?
Okay, all those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you very much. Thanks, Shane, for covering Philip. We appreciate that. I'll send you some lines to take. All right, thanks.